This is the new Mercedes C-Class, and apparently it has 2,000 new components, although looking at it, you'd be hard pushed to spot more than two. Some fresh lights and a redesigned bumper. Dig a little deeper though, which is what we'll do in a moment, and you'll see that the changes add up to make a difference. The question is though, are they enough to elevate this car to the top of the compact executive car class? To find out, we will see how it stacks up against Audi's classy A4 and the driving enthusiast favourite, the BMW 3 Series. But first, let's get back to the Mercedes and the place where the updates are actually noticeable, the cabin. In fact, the overhaul is so extensive it means that inside, the C-Class is now a match for its rivals and finally worthy of its £25,000 starting price. The new dash design looks more upmarket than the one in the old car did, and it helps that the central screen is now integrated like on the E-Class. Also, the driver display gets new graphics which add a touch of colour to the instruments, and all the materials feel of higher quality than they did before. It's even soft touch materials down here. Basically, what I'm trying to say is this interior is far more in keeping with what you'd expect from a car wearing a three-pointed star. As for options, I like the double sunroof because it lets lots of light into the cabin, although at £1,350, it's a little bit on the expensive side. What's better value is a new entry-level Becker satellite navigation system because it only costs 500 quid. What's more, you don't even have to buy it with the car because it can be retrofitted, as all C-Classes are pre-wired to take the system. And while we're on the subject of technology, this Merc is also available with internet connectivity. The new Merc features revised engines, all of which come with stop-start and are more powerful and efficient than before. There's a diesel which emits a class-leading 117 grams per kilometre of carbon dioxide, but the pick is the brilliant 2.2 litre in the C250 CDI, which can return 57 miles per gallon, yet is good for 0 to 62 in just 7 seconds and 140 miles per hour. Thankfully, even when you're going very quickly, the C-Class is a very relaxing car to drive. The cabin's very quiet, the seats are very comfortable, and the standard fit adaptive dampers do a great job of ironing out bumps in the road. You can even get a sports version if you want things a bit more racy that features lowered stiffened suspension. But while the Mercedes handles well, when it comes to driving down your favourite bit of B-road, there is only one compact executive car which can turn you into a giggling idiot. Oh man, sorry, I've just totally forgot I should actually say something. I got a bit carried away having too much fun. But that's the thing with the 3 Series, you see. It's just so entertaining to drive that you sometimes just take a detour from the motorway to go on a twisty road such as this because, I mean, it just handles so well. There's so much grip. But my favourite bit is the steering because it's so responsive and it has so much feel to it. Sadly, the trade-off for that fun factor is that the steering can feel a little heavy in town. And overall, while comfy and quiet, the BMW isn't quite as relaxing as the Mercedes. It's the same story inside, because even though the cabin design is the most contemporary, there's slightly more cheap-feeling hard brittle plastics than you'll find in its fellow Germans, which brings us on to the Audi. When it comes to build quality, the A4 is king, or should that be Kaiser? Anyway, it's the best screwed together and the most luxurious too. And then there's the exterior design. It looks really cool, doesn't it? However, there's more to the A4 than just its super sharp looks, because it's actually a surprisingly practical car too. I mean, if you look here in the boot, well, it's a really good size. I mean, there's plenty of room for quite a few sets of golf clubs, but if you need even more space, then you can fold the rear seat backs down. Now, unlike on some of its rivals, this is a standard feature on all Audi A4s. This car is also very spacious in the back too. I mean, look, I've got lots of knee room, and importantly, even when I'm sitting up straight, there's a fair amount of headroom too. It's easy to get in and out of the back as well because the rear doors are quite large and they open fairly wide. With the biggest boot and the most room in the rear, the A4 leads the field for practicality. Sadly, many driving purists will be put off by the fact it's the only car here that's not rear-wheel drive. However, for most people, the Audi is still an impressive cruiser. And when the going gets twisty like it has done now, the A4 handles really well. I mean, no body rolling corners at all, and there's loads of grip, even with the front-wheel drive version such as this. But if you need more, you can get an all-wheel drive Quattro model. Okay then, it's time for the verdict. Is the new C-Class a better car than the current sector leader, the BMW 3 Series? Well no, unfortunately it's not, and it's not better than the Audi A4 either. That said, the updates do make it a slightly better machine than it was before. I mean, the gap between it and its rivals is now almost unnoticeable. A bit like the external changes to the car itself then.